All right,
So,
welcome back,
Shaz,
everyone.
is she a fiancé or is she a fiancé?
Oh gosh. So, welcome back, everyone, to DM Quest. We're going to start with our new and final arc of this particular campaign. So that will be interesting. We still have a few things to wrap up with downtime events, but other than that, the party had successfully vanquished almost every last participant of Dark Rapture at this point, except for one annoying thorn known as Rhogar. And we will resume with our heroes.
Annoying, that's the word we use for Rhogar. Oh, he's a little annoying, he's a scam.
How dare you? You know what I say when I
He's
say
a nuisance.
Shut up,
so
Rhogar.
pesky. He's just such a pesky little guy.
Vokyel is the pest. Rhogar is the
Rhogar.
the one we've been putting on the back burner forever because we're like, okay, let's get these other ones first, and then
like
we'll.
A bad cat I had.
If he's still around, we'll get that one last.
Also, getting to hell is a little tricky. So.
Oh, I don't know.
Or wherever he happens to be. On that note, though...
Previous 3 arcs, worthless!
I don't know about you, but I've spoken to a lot of people that seem to know the address and kept suggesting I go there.
But we come back to the party having made choices of adventuring. Dacron went on a hunting date with his girl, and that left him disappointed.
I try to hide my disappointment, though, as I come back to Firebrand Keep into the courtyard holding a big black dragon head above my head, and I'm just like, guess we just soloed a dragon! Yeah!
You want to a dragon?
Woo!
Deception or performance, do you think?
I'm going to do advantage because
you're holding a dragon.
Roxana cheered me up, and yeah, and it's dragon. Still not great. You guys know me too well.
They see the dragon, they know that it's a little young looking. They've seen a lot of dragons at this point. They're like, did you slaughter like a young dragon?
I mean, I think the thing's pretty horrifying looking. My passive insight is not amazing. So
it's 8.
8? Wow,
with advantage.
You failed my passive insight. You could use your demon's luck or something.
Hey, I didn't use my Darkness on luck last time.
Yeah.
I didn't need to, so I'll use it now. Power of the Wretch helps me show a better... Okay, 16. So,
there you go.
Yeah, that's reasonable. This one's too big for the... This one's too big for the trophy room. Let's mount it on the front of the keep.
It looks pretty nice next to the metal mask that we have adorning the outside of the keep.
Have you guys just
Let's put that in the trophy room, and then we'll
each of the people that you've slain that you've really disliked? Like
we've established we have a trophy room. It's like the foyer. Like you go into the keep, and there's like trophies along the wall, and then you go into the main hall and stuff. So this will probably be too big for that room, so I'll put that on just like the front of the, or maybe I'll put it on the tower so people can see it.
Reminds you at the event rather than like a full body.
Yeah, we've got the Masked Lord's mask. There's a petrified Magman from a one shot. We've got Hargus's giant hand, which is from a giant. Although that's not really a trophy; it's functional. We've got, I think I put him in the Firebrand Keep channel. Let's see what else. Thing. Oh, the dragon crab thing. That was my first date with Roxana. The cloak of...
Is most of this just Dacron stuff?
No, there's like the antlers of Zerash. We have them mounted on the wall. We have the mask of the Masked Lord. The banner of Benakir.
So he's been using the common space more than the others for his stuff.
And the rest we just rotate out. Maybe once a month we just rotate out from the storage room so that we
Is it for different seasons? Like during Winter's Fest, it's you put up different creatures.
You realize
it's like, this is a year since we killed so-and-so. Let's put up his thing as decorations.
Yeah. Hardest has had artisans putting mosaics up, porcelain glass tile mosaics up the walls of on the stairwell of his keep this whole time. And he just keeps adding stuff to his tower.
Get really cluttered up there.
So Dacrin comes back and is doing that. We address some things with Jasper and Hargis looking for magical equipment, getting things enchanted for themselves, or taking care of some research studies over the course of a couple days. It's been a week at this point. However, we haven't heard from Shaz's adventure during downtime.
Oh, no.
So Shaz, during this week, what did you spend doing?
I'm a half-orc.
Well, it's come to my attention that anything that flies 7 feet off the ground is a big problem for me.
It's true.
Is that 10 feet with a jump?
10 feet with a jump.
What is this bias you speak of?
I'm like a dog nipping at flies in the air.
Well, you are the hound of whatever that deity is, so that makes sense.
So first and foremost, I have to get myself some magic items, and if possible, some boots of flying would be pretty cool.
No, apparently any magic item you really want is a year away, so just don't even bother.
It's hard to reason about getting some magic items. How much gold do you have?
Well, I got gold and I got other items. I only have about... I got like 10,000 gold.
Jasper sold 2 Ioun stones for an extra 40,000 gold. So we
You're welcome.
An extra
40.
40.
I do have items as well that people might be interested in.
Oh, what now?
I do have items that people might be interested in.
Are they... Okay, let's see these items. Are they
racing? I do have the decanter of endless water, which has been useful, but also just kind of strange. Because every time I've had to use it, it's mostly just to pour water on myself when it's too hot out or something.
Like right before we go to hell, I think that might be.
It would be a fine practical joke. It sounds.
In fact,
like.
if we all want to use some of this 40k to buy more decanters of endless water, it wouldn't be stupid for each of us to have our own decanter of endless water. We set it on drip, just keep ourselves nice and cool while we're walking through hell.
Oh, that reminds me, guys. Check this out. And I pull out of Roxana's bag of holding dimensional shackles to stop people from teleporting. That'll be useful.
That's very
and
good.
For you, Hargis, I know that you said that you wanted some dust of choking, right?
Oh, I have some.
Oh, well, I found some for you if you want some.
Oh, I will take it.
All right, here you go. And also some dust of dryness. Which is kind of the opposite of the decanter of water, but...
I was going to say that's nice because we can clean up all this water that has been spilling around.
Yeah, so you sprinkle it on some water and it turns it into a little marble-sized pellet. And once you smash the pellet shatters and releases the water, so that can be kind of
Now, alternatively...
How much water would it absorb?
So, Chaz, you can... searching around during this week, you were able to find an uncommon pair of winged boots. However, the merchant that had them is only selling them
flying
for 6,000 gold, which is exorbitant. Because he says that they've been in the family for generations, they're a rare item, you won't find it anywhere else. Just so you know, normally it would only be like 400 gold for these.
How much is he selling it for?
6,000.
Maybe you could trade.
Okay, so let's do some quick math here.
112 gallons, Jasper. So pretty good. Be good against any water elementals we come up against.
Let's see, 6,000 divided by 400. Okay, that's only 15 times as much.
Just about.
It's only a 5,400
This man's selling it up pretty well. He I'm not sure how our insight checks work anymore. Does he seem like he's bullshitting me?
Are you wondering if the boots are not what they claim to be?
Well, I'm just curious if they're actually worth that much in his Richard. I don't know. I'll pay for them.
Oh no,
whatever.
he's trying to. He kind of sized you up, saw that you were a warrior, and he's like, oh, he's into flight magic, is he? I see why. And he's really trying to extort you.
Yeah, I can get that.
Like,
where are you? Where are you shopping?
Yeah, where am I? Am I in Hardale? Like,
just in Hardale, I would imagine. Be the first place that you could go to that would have merchants that were carrying around uncommon magical items near you.
Sweet. Buddy, look, I'll do 1,000 and I'll forget how fragile your stall looks.
Roll an intimidation check.
20.
How about just 2,000?
It's not even scary intimidation. It's just like, I really don't want to make this guy upset. Like he's got it all together. He's so
I see that.
And I'm not.
Perhaps for your fame, I will discount it. You know, a good amount, 2,000 gold. This halfling merchant is just like.
He's halfling.
I gotta feed a family.
And they will eat.
Roll an insight check.
Yeah,
no family. No family.
So not one insight, but you know it happens. What's the total?
He's got babies.
At 9, he probably has a pretty good family.
I have a family. Crocodile tear. You as the player definitely know that he's lying out his teeth, but Shaz doesn't.
Shaz is just like, I mean, yeah, kids gotta have lobster, you know? Babies need lobster. That's what I always.
This might be the only sale he makes all year. What happens if he doesn't sell anything else?
Then they will still live quite comfortably for some time. Assuming we have a general adherence to the skilled tradesman lives off 1 gold a day or earns 1 gold a day.
So 2,000 gold for these boots, or trying to do something else?
I'll do 1,800 because you have such a kind family that I won't go any lower than that.
Heal. 1,800 gold, you got it.
Still greatly overcharged.
Yeah, only like 4 times the price instead of 15.
He's like, thank you, kind sir. Hey everybody, we're going to Disneyland!
Jazz could get in a huff about it, but he has more important things to worry about than getting screwed over by this man.
However, I will also throw in a greater health potion as well. As another merchant looks at that and is like, "You're one of the firebrands. Like, I'm sorry about some of the merchants around here. I represent the Merchants Guild here at Hardale, and we'd like to keep a good rapport with the firebrands. So take this as a thanks, and I will have a talk with my new compatriot over here."
You saved my nephew at the forts. At Fort Dacron, he saw you there. At Fort Dacron, you saved my nephew.
My niece died at Fort Chaz, but I don't know what happened there.
I never really cared for her, though, so it worked out. You really is a double win for me, because the nephew, he's just amazing, that boy.
He really brought the party down.
The nephew, she's just amazing, that boy.
She never sent me thank you letters anyway. After 1 year's
in presence. I just wanted money for college.
I'll take the boots, figure out how to incorporate them in my armor, and go on from there. Damn. Well, I gotta get some attunement slots open.
Those are winged boots.
They do require attunement. Yeah, that's tough.
What I could give up is my ring of warmth and hope we don't go to that part of hell.
Oh, the warm part?
The cold
chilly
part.
The frozen over part.
I could give up Graham, but Dustin keeps giving me these looks like I'm gonna need it.
I'm not saying anything. How do you know you don't need the ring of warmth?
Only if
that's a good point.
I mean, you can keep it.
It's a fire, doesn't it?
It takes an hour to attune. You know, like I'm sure we'll have an hour to prepare for a battle in hell. I hope.
True.
So you can attune to either one if you need to.
Alright, so Shaz is going to spend this time reattuning, and he's taking Jasper's advice, not rubbing shit against his face all the time.
I mean, that's good advice in general. I don't remember having to say that out loud specifically.
There was a time where my attunement method with Graham was just putting it on my face over and over, and you were like, no, that's not how it works!
Oh, I forgot that.
I'll probably...
You've been sleeping with it in your sleeping bag, haven't you?
Anyways, I'll probably give up the Ring of Warmth for now, put back the Butcher's Bib. It's been a bit, friends say. Have that one. And, I don't know, Shaz probably is just gonna visit family before he goes out for this. Yeah. He's not gonna tell them he's going to hell, but let's just pop in to say hi. Well, you know, when you tell someone you're going to hell, usually they assume it's your fault. So yeah, Shaz will just meet with his parents, spend some time there, meet with Mirazar, spend some time there, and just get his personal life figured out before he goes to literal hell.
Don't be so worried.
No, I'm not. I'm just precautious. So yeah, he just spends time living his best life among his community, which is like 3 people, excluding the Firebrands.
Okay. Noted. So, a week goes by. All of you spend some various time with family acquaintances and those that you care about, and eventually all gather back up into Firebrand Keep to have a discussion about what your next steps are going forward. And as you guys all gather in your main hall, and the berry bushes deliver various fruit drinks to each of you, you begin your discussion. How would you guys like to talk about going to Rhogar? You now have the ability to open a portal, which you know leads to where Rhogar is at, but you don't know much beyond that at this point.
Just somewhere on the plane, yeah.
Is this within 6 days after I defeated the dragon?
This is at the end of the week, so this is after that.
Is it 6 days after I defeated the dragon, or did I defeat the dragon like 2 days ago?
I mean, you spent a couple days tracking it down, hiking out there and stuff, so it wouldn't be like a full week after.
Basically, would I have had time to read this Tome of Understanding that I found in its hoard? Takes 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer.
I would say no. You could almost have it done, but you'll have to take another day or two.
Okay.
Day and a half.
So I've been reading it.
We've been trying to talk to you.
You couldn't exactly focus on the book after the events. Roxana made sure of that.
Well, obviously the night of... yeah, of course. I wasn't...
It was the
book was the farthest thing from my mind. But a couple days later, I pull it out. I'm like, let's see if this book is interesting. And then I can't put it down. I'm like, it's so amazing. It's such good words of wisdom.
So no, it would take you another day.
Okay, so I'm half done with it or whatever. Or 3/4 done with it. Okay. So, guys, we got all the pieces.
We got the giant cork board up with pins and yarn all over. Everything going every which way.
Hey, why am I on there? What the fuck?
All pictures of the members of Dark Rapture X'd out, and then Rhogar's the last one with a circle around it.
Yep.
So, you guys think we're ready to go, or?
Ready to go? I was thinking it might be good to do a little more looking into what we can encounter. Also, I was trying to remember. It's been sort of a busy week, but I was trying to remember everything that we threw at Rhogar before, just so that we could have an idea of what, prepare ourselves adequately. He did acid, right? Wasn't acid a big part? He spewed acid on us.
Yeah, he's half Black Dragon and half Valor, I assume.
And right, and then he was resistant to fire as well, wasn't he?
That I don't remember. Maybe. I seem to think there was some kind of necrotic sort of thing.
That was the other thing I was trying to remember about his necrotic.
I think it was necrotic and acid. I don't think he was... I think fire was normal, but...
I've been meaning to ask the Tree Father. He'll remember, even though I don't. So just ask the Tree Father. And
are you going to commune with the Tree Father and ask him questions?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, yes, no questions.
Will fire hurt him in the way I expect it to?
Yeah.
Maybe. What do you mean, maybe?
Maybe.
No. Anyway, so that was something I was planning on doing.
Definitely, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely remember the acid, and I suspected there was something with necrotic, but I couldn't recall right offhand.
Really big.
I didn't try to think really hard about it, though, in a way that would allow me to remember things in the game setting. But then, yeah, maybe I didn't know if we were planning on doing some research into the hells at all. See if that was worth doing, but I'm not sure.
I do have a contract with Bankotha to occupy at least a portion of the demons who bar our path, and so make sure to invoke that right before we go.
Oh yeah,
that'll lighten the path forward a little bit. Hopefully, she'll be good on that deal. So we have that to do. Jasper? No. There he goes. I pick up my book again and start reading.
Very interesting.
So, in the meantime, you guys hear a knock at the door, or one of the berry bushes says, some mail came in here.
Oh, good.
I don't know what to give you guys, but some packages arrived for each of you. One of them has a dinosaur stamp on it.
Look at that manly man doing the fathering.
Hang.
But it looks like various people have sent you your some thanks and some other things that have come for you now. So I don't know if you want to open these packages. There's 4 of them, and just like
presents.
Well, just in case I need to say it, I am loading my Ring of Spell storage.
Yeah, good. What spells are you loading into it?
I was thinking of Polymorph.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't know what level that is, but I love a good T-Rex.
Polymorph is
4,
level 4.
so we'll take up 4 of your 5 slots in that ring.
There's 1 charge in there already. Supposedly comes with 1, and I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. But the 4th level spell I'd like to do is Polymorph.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put a cure
That means
wounds
there could
in.
be one other level 1 spell in that ring, along with a polymorph, is what could happen.
Well, I'll just look into that.
All right, well, let's open our presents. Who's addressed to who?
Is addressed to the Firebrands. However, each of them come from various people that you know.
That would be Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Oh, classic.
Good one.
So, Dacron, there seems to be one from Attila Kilnir.
Otelia Kilner.
Attila the Hun.
Attila.
It's from my. I open it up immediately without checking it for traps.
You looking inside, there is a letter with all the normal, like, dear son, how have you been? All that. And she says, recently I met a lovely young lady named Roxanne.
What? Roxana went and visited her without me? I was going to introduce her. Like, tomorrow, before we left.
Spying on ya.
I keep reading.
I know, you loved her since you knew her.
She told me about many of your adventures and how you've become quite strong and a dashing young man and other things, but I've been worried about you and I've been contemplating what I could do to help. Well, we kind of pooled our resources and got together and talked about what we could do to help you out, and I figured that this charm might be useful for you. You have the access to a charm of slaying and a charm of vitality.
Now, when you say charm, what does that mean exactly?
It's a little
items.
It's a little item that's a charm, and wearing this, I'm told, should help protect you. We're saving it for another time, but in case there isn't another time, it felt better to give it to you now.
So when you say charm, like, is it like a little pin or like a little?
It's a little
dangly decoration.
It's a little decoration dangle that has like a design on it. It kind of looks like just like this rectangular, kind of woven material with some kind of crest on it.
Okay.
And on one side, it looks like it has like images of a dragon, and on the other side, it has like images of a heart. And if you wear the charm, you can tap it and consume it for one of the benefits of either a charm of slaying or a charm of vitality.
So it's either or one of each?
One of each.
Okay.
Cool.
That's nice. I was gonna visit her tomorrow anyway, so she must have sent this to be more formal. Just like my... What about you guys? Did you get letters from your parents, or what is?
Yep.
What are these other ones from?
I have no idea. I don't usually get letters.
We'll get to that. Okay. Jasper, there is one for you from Brissa Shadowcloak.
Brissa. She always sends the nicest things. That's how you open presents.
As you open it,
one of the berries at my.
I understand. Rumor in Copenhagen and also at Lasan Galad is that you're about to go to hell. I don't know if they're upset at you or if somebody is like using that as just a phrase or something, but I've been a little concerned about you lately, so I thought, well, if it's true, maybe you could make use of something. So I really prayed to the Tree Father, and I got this special fruit for you. It should give you a blessing. Though temporary. If you eat the fruit, it should make you a bit hardier and come back to me.
Hardier and come back to her? What is that? What is that, Jasper? What does she mean by that?
Would you like to identify the fruit? Okay. Looking at the fruit, casting Identify, or just being attuned with the Tree Father, this is a fruit that will give you a blessing of Constitution. Your Constitution score will go up by 2, even if it's at its max.
For how long?
For about a week. However, if at the end of the week you are, for some reason, at low HP and the blessing wears off, you do die. Use with caution. Warning labels.
Oh yeah, so that means you'll get 20 extra hit points too.
Good old negative HP stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's power fruit. A robust fruit, as they say. All right, so...
And with that, Shaz, you have a gift from your fiance. Is it Marizar? Is that the name? Marizar. As well as your parents and Ivan.
Oh.
Oh. Interesting.
So, yeah, ended up talking to your parents at one of the events here. Ivan has apparently wrote you a note, and I let it slip that you were going to hell.
Oh, I guess I'm okay.
So then they wanted to have some way of protecting you, and then Eleanor got involved, so I decided to give you something that could be helpful. So, yeah, rub this oil over your armor. It will increase the AC by 1.
Interesting terminology, but okay.
Yeah. So, even if your armor was a +3, if you rub this oil over it, it will be a +4.
Nice.
Man,
you can apply it to your shield or your armor. We're
armor.
We'll get to you.
No, I was going to say, gee, all I got y'all was gift cards to Lacquer Is Us, so you can get your armor.
There's also a charm of heroism from your parents, similar in design to what Dacron just got a moment ago.
That Connie's special, I tell you.
Don't turn your nose up at a good lacquering. That's what I always say.
As they, Marizar starts talking about how heroic you've been and some other stuff that way, and she's like, well, you could always save the charm of heroism for later. And with that, your gifts, kind of looking through it and some other things, there's also a couple basic healing potions, 2 basic healing potions in it. And your parents are talking, and they're like, oh, we know that you've been up to various difficult things, but we didn't think that you would actually be, like, so famous as an adventurer and traveling to hell. Like, you've come a long way. We thought you had gone through enough in life, but you just seek out adventure.
Don't forget to take protection.
And then, at the end of it, your mom has written, P.S. Did you pack clean underwear?
Yes, alright. You can't respond this way. Damn it! Okay, sweet. So, as a reminder, Charm of Heroism, oil +1.
Yep.
And you said something about a potion?
And the oil, when you've applied it, once again, only lasts for a week.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Nice.
And then 2 basic healing potions, I think you said.
Uh-huh.
Sweet. I like the idea like some formal gathering. Like Ivan's there, and he's like dipping a strawberry in the chocolate fountain. He's like, "Oh, this is good." and then it's like, "Oh,
Eleanor
you're Ivan,
is like,
right?"
and then Eleanor walks over. Ivan, you know Shaz's parents, and then he goes, "Yeah." They've been wondering how he's been doing. Oh, well, I'm sure he's gonna be doing just fine in hell. Oh crap!
So good. Just
So good.
And
Just doing
it
it
went
so
on
good.
from there.
All the time.
And then things went from there. Now remember, these are all items, so you could exchange them with each other or give them to each other. So that way, depending on how you want to roll with it. Nobody will get hurt feelings finding out that their gift to you was used on someone else.
Oh, you just don't tell them.
Argus,
Yay!
you open your package,
Who could this be from?
It's a box of lingerie.
and inside
Clean underwear,
is an
socks,
old, worn chest.
plastic elf ears. Old worn chest.
With a key next to it, and a letter that says, "I hope you don't have to use this."
Ooh. That's never good.
Ooh, open it.
Very. All right, lick the key on both sides.
It's full of lingerie.
Oh, they weren't light, were they?
I really hope you don't
match
have to
my
use this.
kilt.
And it says,
Or wool socks.
and looking at the handwriting in that, it says, "B sis." Just a tiny signature in the corner of the message.
They find you no matter where you go.
Yep. And
I'll just surreptitiously stick the
key in and open
letter in my jerkin, and I'll lick both sides of the key and then turn it. Open the chest.
What's in the bag?
Dacron, you do see that there's a magical effect on this box. If he pulls it out.
I use my ghostly gaze to look through it and see it before he does.
You are not able to.
Ooh, I think that's lead lined there, Argus. What magic school is it? Abjuration?
Abjuration is on the box itself, yes, but underneath the abjuration, since you can see through that, it's just a solid lead container.
That's lead lined, Argus. That's whatever's in there is really they've really looked.
Wait,
to
who's
protect
it from,
that.
Argus?
Oh, one of my relatives.
And they don't.
The way he says that, just nonchalant.
Dragon, demon, or something in between. Maybe both.
I've called her many things, including witch. Sometimes fondly, sometimes in irritation.
Well, I mean, we all got stuff, and
she reacts particularly well to a hag. You
Uh,
never want to get under her skin.
what's everybody's passive perception?
22.
Dacron, you hear a soft noise from the box.
Actually, probably 17 because I probably don't have my shield with me, but it's still pretty high. I hear something.
Oh, only 17? Never mind.
Yeah, I'm not in my armor or
Is it
anything.
actually a 22 or is it a 17?
It's 22 when I have my shield, my sentinel shield, but if we're in the keep, I probably don't have it with me. It's probably up with my armor and stuff, so...
Never mind, then you don't hear anything.
I think I'm just going to use a little discernment and decide if I should open it right now or if I should save it.
Save it for when you're dying in the battle and see what's in the den.
Well, you know, as much as I hate it, She is smarter than me.
You think it's a open to?
I'm gonna open it. I open it.
Oh.
Okay.
Can't stand it.
You stick the key in and you turn it. As you open it up, there's a black cloth over an object that is pulsating just every so often. Just doo-doo, doo-doo.
It's a sphere of annihilation. Run!
And just slowly just pulses. Doo-doo, doo-doo.
Maybe I'll just close this and save it. I'm gonna close it.
As you open, you do see a letter inside.
Oh, good. Read the letter.
Let's just gently close that back while I read this.
On the letter, it says, "Should you be in need, this will save you." Grasp it and put it to your chest.
I'm just gonna lock it back up then and stow that away. And I'll save that letter with the other one.
Otherwise, inside, other than the old chest, there is 3 vials of liquid inside the container. One of them is a vial of sharpening. So your weapon will crit on a 19 or 20, and it has a +1 bonus to what it already has. Once again, only works for a minute. That's specifically different on this one. Works for a minute. The other 2, one is a potion of resistance. You will gain resistance to all forms of damage for 2 turns.
Like a limited swig of a potion of invulnerability. That's cool.
Yep. And the third one is unidentified, and the label's been rubbed off.
Well, I will take that at the same time.
But it has a very acrid smell to it.
Embrace that other one.
And you're pretty sure you apply this to a weapon.
Oh.
Poison?
You're pretty sure.
Well, we'll just tuck this away.
Just label them drink, do not drink, and,
Yeah, weapon, ingest.
Well,
don't mix these up.
As apply as needed.
Yeah.
Not
this side toward enemy.
Who would have contacted her? That is curious. I mean, I am very obviously dead. As I've told her repeatedly.
Well,
maybe it's the repeatedly that lost her confidence in that.
Does anybody want to question him about the pulsating thing under the black cloth?
His business is
we're all looking like we didn't. No, Jasper doesn't care about that. He just closed it before. He looked nervous and closed it. I don't think he knows.
Slowly closed it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys would have heard a slight thudding when he opened it because it was no longer being contained.
Yeah, it's a creepy.
There's a golden glow coming from it, kind of pulsed with the beat.
Yeah, necromancy heartbeat thing. Yeah.
Well, that is special.
It's the still beating heart of one of your enemies, no doubt. And you.
Oh,
you only hope
want to add to your bag of holding or otherwise. Just so you know, it does take an action to open that box if it is closed.
Maybe you can just rubber band it so it doesn't.
No, I actually know how I will store it, and I will store it on my chest in a little pack.
Right. Remember, that's how you use it too.
You're gonna put the beating thing on your chest right now?
No, Jasper.
No.
What if it's still wrapped in the cloth, and then you can just rip the cloth out, and then it makes contact, and I mean, still.
No,
action,
I'll secure it. I'm gonna secure it back like it was, but I don't. Unless it's a hindrance, I can store it in my purse. I have a sling purse on my that I carry random stuff in.
How loud is that beating?
I'll say if you're holding it there, it won't do anything. You know that there's an activation word to it.
Okay.
And it's listed inside in the letter. You will have to choose this word. However, when you hold it to your chest and use the activation word, the effect will take place.
There we go.
When I used to run out in the country a lot, I had a holster and sling that kept my equipment
still
right
beating,
here. So
still beating hearts of your enemies in it.
So I was just thinking that would be good for a still beating heart as well.
Yeah, so you can chomp on them as you ran.
It really put people off.
I tell you, nobody messes with the guy with
the still
nobody wants to mess with the guy chunking beating hearts.
Yeah.
I went ultra raw paleo a couple weeks back. I feel great.
He keeps taking a bite out of it and then throwing it at us.
A moment later, some other messages and other things come to you guys. Just basically fan mail at this point.
Lucky.
People
got popular all of a sudden.
Thanking you, and otherwise people... A lot of this is backlog as well. That seems to have... As people discovered what the Firebrands have actually done for them, or otherwise over the time, you started receiving letters and kind of thank you notes, and sometimes they included cookies or something else that way. Some of the food has gone bad because the mail system isn't the best.
Argus, did you sing a song at your beer garden about like how good the Firebrands are, and like was this some sort of propaganda that you sent out recently? Like, why is this all coming now?
Oh, lad, have you not heard my repertoire? It's continuous stories of how badass we are.
I mean, I've heard a lot of them, but like, why now? Did you say like the final adventure of the Firebrands is nigh, or like?
Oh, you must be talking about
toss a coin
song,
to your Firebrand or
countdown.
something like that. Like, what's inspiring them to give us
the final countdown?
And then people realize they don't have much time with us, and just want to thank us. Well, whatever you did, it was effective.
I have my apprentices putting those songs out there repeatedly. Once I sing them, then my apprentices play them repeatedly until the next go around. Mm-hmm. And so if you go to the beer gardens, you're mostly hearing my songs anymore. And the classics, of course. I'm a traditionalist.
So, having received your gifts, what would the party like to do next? I mean, you have some gifts. Nova, are you gonna just open a portal and start going?
No, I've been making this. I guess, for lack of a better way to call it, this road or grove of the gods, known and unknown. Hargus thinks there are gods missing from the pantheon. No less active in their meddlings with man, but have not revealed themselves. So he just walks up and down the line, playing his latest mix, which the gods always hear them first, calling upon them for any blessings and guidance as we go through the highway unto hell.
Are you doing this as any form of spell effect, like commune or legend lore, or are you just doing this?
I always do commune, like modified commune, because as a sacrifice. And sometimes if I have little magic items, I'll sacrifice them. Like there's random things around the bases of these statues.
For me, Hargus.
Do you know what I mean?
Let's see if something is
like when I drop my heart.
Are you there, Ben Kotha? It's me, Hargus.
Oh no. I've got things to say.
He's on my do not call
list. To be happy.
And Jasper, you wanted to do commune as well with the Tree Father? Do you have?
Yeah.
Great divorce now.
We'll get to you.
It's going to be burning questions about
something.
Her behavior. 92.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Here, let me just.
Wow.
Just so you know. Can you see that?
There it is.
Yeah, good enough. Good enough. I did set the threshold at 90, so
sweet.
Argus, as you were doing
metal dice.
And I guess it's a grove at the keep that he's been maintaining. You guys, because that's Hargus's garden. It's his god garden. You guys haven't really done much about it. Sometimes you're like, I think he calls the tomato plants like some Asmodeus tomatoes or something that way, or other things that way.
I've been growing ghost peppers of late.
Yeah.
They call them snow ice peppers.
As you're doing this, then you are some names that you've read in lore over time or other things. A name pops up. Kethrix. And Rigid Lokner. Which of these two names do you say? You know both. Which of these two names do you say? Kethrix or Rigid Lokner?
Rigid Lokner, because it echoes the language of my ancestors.
Okay. As you guys, the rest of you seeing in the nearby, all of a sudden have this sinking sensation for just the briefest of moments, because you're like, oh, something gross feels like it's happened, and then like you sense a strong magical effect from outside. I'll say each of you is somewhat aware of this, and as you hear screeching, and then a brilliant light, and then in the garden, just kind of in this circle, kind of plantation area, a figure appears, hunched, holding a cane, looking back and forth, black, kind of leathery wings, and one eye that's kind of a purplish hue with a slit in it, and then just like cut marks across the other side. This creature, humanoid in appearance, other than its kind of clothed and wrapped body. It's hard to see its face, but you can see its eye underneath and somewhat of its brown forehead. And you can see the scar marks. You don't know if that's because its skin is black under the hood, or because there's some other effect obscuring his face. But he turns and kind of reaches his hand out towards Hargus at first, and then like this magical force just kind of prevents him from reaching further and touching you. And looks around, and he's like, "So I've been summoned." What?
Excuse my
Hargus of Hargus, aren't you?
Hey, I am Grey Wanderer.
What did you summon me for? Is there a deal that you wish to make?
I'll gladly
assume
make
that
deals.
You guys are looking for something. Tell them what Rigid can do for you.
Perhaps it was foolishness and my anxiety over the journey I'm about to make to hell that summoned you here unintentionally. But now that you're here, God,
I'm glad you did.
I will not dishonor you.
Where I think you're going, I might have mutual interest in what you're doing.
Hey, Hargus, you left your sandwich at... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Here's your sandwich, just left in the kitchen. Go ahead. Sorry, pretend I wasn't there. Go on.
Jasper's picking through a bowl of crickets, like trying to see.
Right now, I know.
If there's like,
I will say, with your
did an off one get in there?
With the wretch and other things, you do know that this is a devil entity that is in your garden at the moment.
Hargus, who is this?
Oh, well, I've given him the name of Grey Walker, but that is not his true name. I think it would be rude to repeat it.
You didn't use my true name, just a calling card.
Oh,
well, I don't think entities of his type are welcome
meeting you guys for some time. Is the rest of you here? The rest of the Firebrands.
I just send the message. We need a conference in the Grove.
What?
I don't think your kind is welcome here, traveler. Why?
I'm not welcome most places. Nothing new there.
Excuse me. Do not run my guest off.
Hargus, he's a demon. This is what happened to me, like 12 years ago when I got, screwed over, the wretch, all that stuff.
On a somber note, does
Shaz and Jasper come out into the game being called out?
At the PSA,
Jasper runs back and gets you guys.
Drop his crickets and jump
Some of
out.
the plant life is slowly wilting as the spell duration is going.
Look at the plants; they're dying around him. He's clearly not a good influence in this dimension.
On a somber note, Hargis looks at you with a tired eye, without quite taking his eye off the Grey Walker, and I no longer
he's
care.
Looking like this.
No, just how you glance over without losing sight of the person in your peripheral.
Okay.
I'm at a point I no longer care. If there's a deal to be made, I think I'm willing to do it.
No.
Doesn't matter what the deal is. Just you need deal. Just make it.
I know of your dealings with that wretched creature. I'm not after your souls. I'm after something I value much more.
Okay, that scares me because
the souls.
what could be worth more than a soul?
What do you propose?
Don't get me wrong. I will get plenty of souls if I get what I need, and it won't be yours.
Not sure that makes me feel any better. Condemning other souls, Hargis. I hope you know what you're doing.
Alright, speak plainly, please. We don't have a lot of time for nonsense. We really just literally don't have time.
You see, an enemy of an enemy is my friend, as they say.
Okay, so you're an enemy of Rhogar, I assume.
Something he has that I want.
Hold on, baby.
And currently, he is residing in a place known as Fallen.
Thank you. That's nice.
Fallen. Jasper, write that down.
What was it?
No, sorry. Faller. Sorry, my apologies.
Jasper, strike that out and write the new word.
It's an ancient
relic.
Just a place abandoned by deities and others that he's turned into somewhat of a fortress. I'd like to become the new owner of said fortress. Okay. So, should you clear out the current residents, I would appreciate being able to take over. And since you might think that, that's not an equal trade, I'm offering you a roundabout way to circumvent some of its defenses. Its gatekeeper, if you will, and allow you to get inside without having to angle with it.
I made my bargain before I ever met you.
Back door, if you will.
Name your price.
What bargain did you make before?
Emotionally. I'm talking about in my mind.
If we have a deal, I would show you this alternate way in, and after you've dealt with Rhogar and the business there, I become the new owner of said place. It pays to have a defensive fortification against enemies.
Right. Yep,
and what do we get in return?
So he's telling us how to get around one of the outer defenses. All right. So,
that's all.
If you know...
Nothing difficult.
Sure. So you want this done. We want to get it done. So yes, tell us how to get around this first.
One clause.
No, there's no clause. There's no deal being made here.
No, if we make a deal.
There's no deal.
The deal is he will tell us this if we promise to let him have the fortress. That's the deal, right?
I am not staying there, so I don't know what's going to happen to that fortress after we leave.
So
absolutely not, Dacron. We are not staying in hell. We're not going to hold a position.
I go already to Jasper. We're getting a free deal here. We were gonna leave the fortress anyway, so we're making it seem like we're giving it to him, okay?
So he just tells us. If you tell him it's a deal, then it's a deal.
Well, if he tells us, then that's the deal.
Oh, but then there's strings attached, Dacron.
That's why I'm saying a clause.
Just
Listen, I'm not trying to make this complicated.
Please
You guys
don't.
obviously have had dealings with devils. You don't trust us, so I'm giving you a deal that's more beneficial to you. You agree to let me have the fortress. I agree to let you in. That's all there is to this contract. That's it.
One clause to this contract, if we make it.
No. This is all it is that I show you a way in past its guardian, and then the only thing I can really assume from that is that after you're done, you leave, and then I can...
Yes, that's totally fine, but there is one clause we need to add to this. Are you going to use the fortress to invade our world or affect it negatively in any way? Because that's what Rhogar's been doing. That's why that's why we're hunting him down and killing him.
I can't promise that. Let's say, what's the point of me having a fortress that protects me from enemies if I make an enemy on the surface? That would be me interfering with your world. I can't have it that broad.
So, you're agreeing to that clause, then?
No, I'm saying that clause is ridiculous.
How about for the next 100 years, then?
You only want it to be protected for 100 years.
Well, it's better than never. I'm saying, as long... Will you give...
I mean, in my timeline, that's like asking for a day off.
Right, there you go. See, so it's not that unreasonable, right? Just no invasions, no setting foot anywhere here in Amara or any place.
You're worried
any of
about
us...
me invading you guys. Listen, I like dealing in hell and keeping my enemies at bay. I don't like inviting more trouble than I need.
Okay, so yeah, if you stay in hell, that completes the clause.
Have you guys even ever heard of me before this point? I doubt it.
No, but I know you're kind, so I'm just making sure. And Rhogar is kind of your kind, and he's been causing a lot of trouble, so we just want to cover our bases.
That wretched half is not my kind.
Ooh. Speaking of halves and that sort of thing, how does he fare up against your standard array of elemental powers? If you're interested and invested in his destruction, right? So we got to go in there. It's going to be a lot of things. He's a tough fella.
Yeah, do you know anything about him? It'll make it more likely that you'll get your fortress if you know anything about him.
I do recall his... is coveted because such things prevent
Guys, I gotta take the dog out.
Oppositions.
Gotta listen when she says it. I'll be right back.
It's I didn't quite understand that. Is it what now, Hal?
Come on, baby. Let's go potty.
The fortress does what?
One way of maintaining power down here is making sure that others can't take it from you.
Sure.
Not necessarily being the strongest, but making it so that they can't take what you've gained. That fortress does a good job of it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It's more troublesome for my kind than for you, but most mortals aren't going to be able to come down and assault such a place in the first place.
For sure. No, we fought him once before, and I remember acid. I remember he spewed acid, right? So obviously I'm not going to try and attack him with acid. That'd be nonsense.
I don't know the particularities of his abilities, per se.
Okay, so the fortress isn't covered in acid, then?
Not that I know of. I haven't invaded it myself.
But you do have a vested interest in it, and I figured if you know what the whereabouts are, you might have a preference as to what's comfortable, right?
I'm worried about saying things that would compromise its integrity to myself.
What's Dom and follow
That's
mean?
Fair. But we are going to invade it once, and you could change the defenses after that, so...
Roll a history check on me.
No, I'm asking the demon. I'm asking the demon. What's it mean? What's Dom and follow mean?
Is it abyssal or infernal? Because I understand it now that I absorbed the rest.
It is not.
Well, it's not demonic. Is it older than demonic?
What languages do you guys know?
That's why Jasper just asks people what things mean, because he doesn't know any languages. Hey!
I know that is the name of the place, but Hey,
what's it mean?
I know it if you speak it.
I don't know how... listen, I don't speak.
Oh yeah, does Shaz hear something else? Like, does Shaz know the etymology of it because of his helm of comprehend languages?
I thought that only affected it if he was touching something, not if he was hearing it.
He has to touch writing, but he can hear languages and understand them immediately.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just comprehend languages all the time.
Okay.
Technically, it's supposed to be that I cast it over and over again, but it lasts for an hour, so really just like...
Just keep it on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. A literal translation.
Right. So, literal translation would have been Judgment Fall.
Yeah, cool.
Judgments Fall.
Judgments Fall.
With an S on it. Sorry.
The translation is Acid Fields.
The translation is, here is death.
Here be death. Okay.
We call it Ye Old Acid Pit. If we built a wall around
Judgment
it.
Fall in the form of a title or a noun, not as a verb or something else that way. So it is the name of the place, Judgment's Fall.
Yes, and that's also a waterfall of acid.
If Rhogar would have founded the location, he would have named it Here Be Death or something like that. But this is clearly older than his time.
Ever since he was a wee wormling dragon, looking forward to a place to call his own.
A wee wormling dragon imp demon. A wormling imp.
I'll say this. There are many here and across the plains that have a vested interest in this place. Most deities don't care as much anymore, but us that are trying to acquire power love such relics.
Sure. What's this guardian on the outside that you're talking about? What's his name? What's that deal with that?
The monstrosity has several heads. Hard to describe. You might call it a snake, you might call it a dog. Depends on the way you perceive things.
Snake dog. Snake dog. I love good snake dog.
It's could be a minor inconvenience for you guys, or could be difficult. Either way, I'm offering you a way to circumvent it and not have to waste energy on that.
Sure.
Dahmer Fall is already difficult enough to get through without his extra pet.
Hydra snake dog, yeah.
Hydra snake dog. Sometimes the way you abbreviate things is hilarious.
Is it music? Is it music? Because sometimes I've heard play music and they go to sleep, sort of a thing.
I don't think that would work on that creature. I'm not sure. You're welcome to try.
No, I just wanted one guess. All right, what is it? What's the secret? How do you get past it?
Oh, well, not even be around it in the first place, but at the same time, do we have a deal?
For curiosity, is it a gigantic monster thing with
my
two
time
heads
is growing short
and
here.
a bunch of
really
snakes around it?
You notice that this Hargis' impromptu summoning is starting to fail. He's not going to be around for much longer.
Hargis, go ahead and make the deal. I'm not going to make it, but you go ahead.
What I missed?
No, this is an agreement with your group.
We are leaving hell.
Look, I promise not to hinder Hargis when he makes this deal.
We are leaving hell after Rhogar is destroyed once and for all.
So
and the fortress will be yours.
I mean, I can't guarantee the fortress will be yours. I have no idea what the state of the fortress will be once Rhogar is dead.
All I'm saying is you let me capture the fortress after.
I don't know how I would let you do anything like that. I will leave.
You don't need to worry about the details. Just agree to the agreement.
We will not hinder you from capturing the fort. It's all yours.
Once again, the deal is I will show you a path past the gatekeeper, allowing you to get into Dahmer Faller.
Right.
And as such, having done such, I will be able to take it over after you've cleared Rhogar out.
Right. So we are going to kill Rhogar, and then we are going to leave.
I didn't say I would kill Rhogar.
No, we are going
to kill Rhogar. You can have the fortress, but you will also let us leave after you capture it. Final clause?
Sure, you can leave. I have no problem with that.
Alive.
Sounds like a deal to me.
I don't want your souls if that's what you're caring about. I can work on that later. Not that you guys would be willing to give it up.
All right, with my
willing to make that deal with.
All right, with my experience with pacts, does it seem sound, or is he trying to? Is there any other aspect that seems like
he seems
fishy
very dodgy
about this?
Seems
it's
pretty
all
straightforward. even without insight or otherwise, it's a little weird because it's so straightforward.
Yeah. In which case,
it's very unsuspicious behavior for a devil, which of course makes it very
suspiciously unsuspicious.
All right, sure. I can't see any downside to this, guys. Like, if he wants the fortress and he'll let us leave after we kill him, that's fine.
Well, it's not the deal I was looking for, but it's the deal I got, and I'll take it.
It is.
If it means I'll help my. If it means it'll help my my friends
succeed, brain grows wider as a contract appears. It is as simple as he said. It's like 3 lines long, and then like a magical quill appears and just waiting for each of you to sign it. And his signature is on it.
Is it mine good enough?
Just write the Firebrands, Hargus.
All right.
Big bold Firebrands. If you give your consent, then the contract is done, and I will reveal to you how to get past.
I've got to go commune with my god. I can't just go making deals with devils offhand.
I don't think the Tree Fathers wants any part of this. I don't think he's.
I wouldn't think so either. The whole thing seems preposterous. If you want us to kill Rhogar, tell us how to get past the dog thing, and we're going to go do it because that's what we're going there to do anyway. So.
So that's the contract, I guess. Let's do it.
It's what we are going to do.
As time grows short, are you signing the contract or not?
Jasper's already
signed it.
I can't. It has to be without my endorsement. Then it's fine. I can't. I have no control over anything that you're talking about. It's preposterous for you to ask
sign
me
it,
about it.
And unless there's some sneakiness that we're not revealing here, friends will abide by it.
So this will be final call unless all 4 of you agree to it.
Jasper just agree to it. It's fine.
You can't make the deal.
Just make the deal. It's fine, Jasper. It's the simplest contract I've ever seen. Like, it's way simpler than mine was.
Jasper pops commune. Tree Father, do you want me to make this agreement? Yes or no?
How long does commune take to cast, by the way?
Maybe a minute. Let me check here.
He's been like waving his hands the whole time we've been talking.
I don't have it.
This is the move that
lights some incense.
When it gets to this point in the
ritual,
it just doesn't really jive for me. But I guess nature spirit, I suppose it makes sense on some mystical level.
Guys, I feel like we're just kind of like...
Takes a minute to cast, so...
Yeah, so you won't have time to cast it before he disappears.
Jasper, I promise, if anything goes wrong, I'll take the fall for it, okay? We gotta just get this done. Obviously, the Tree Father doesn't like demonic deals, but this isn't even a deal. Like, it's like saying, will you...
When you're going to do.
Like, when you go buy that soda...
Will you do what you're going to do?
When you go buy that sword from the blacksmith, will you let me go in and buy one too? It's that simple. Like, it's a...
And it doesn't need a signature.
It's a decree of negligence. We just let him do whatever.
Jasper plane shifts to the greenways. He's gone. He's plane shifted to the greenways.
Does
himself? Yeah.
Tell me, does Jasper agree or not to the contract?
He plane shifted to the greenways.
Jasper, no!
You have to tell me because they can't sign it without your consent.
Yeah, I mean,
so he's saying no. Then I guess
Jasper's gone.
Not doing
He's not there. It's up to him now. He gets to decide what he wants to do. Jasper's gone.
Well, No,
He's gone.
So Jasper says no.
The DM
then,
telling
so
you have to tell me, does he agree or not?
He doesn't say anything. He just disappears, which means he disagrees. So we can't make the deal, I guess.
So Jasper is disagreeing with the contract.
He didn't say anything. He's gone.
Jasper. I need the player to tell me what if Jasper did or did not agree.
Out loud? Or what did he... Like, he didn't say, I agree out loud, no.
It sounds like Jasper just went la 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 la, and...
Yep. he abstained. He abstained.
So, that's the same as saying no, so I guess we didn't make the deal.
For sake of time, tell me, was it Jasper agreeing or not agreeing?
I mean, it's as best he could without saying, I disagree out loud, because he didn't want to...
So he says, so Jasper's intent is he disagrees. He doesn't agree with the contract.
The intent is pretty obvious, yeah.
Yes, he disagrees.
Yeah, I just need a clear answer there.
Yeah, no, the intent I think would be fairly obvious, but he's just not present. So
Jasper doesn't agree to the contract, and then all of a sudden it shimmers, it disappears right when he disappears. He says, well, that's unfortunate. Perhaps next time. If you change your mind, I'm sure we can meet when you travel here.
Hey,
why do you need all
and then he disappears.
Well, Jasper is going to solo the gatekeeper then.
I was really wanting to get into a hell pack. I guess I'll just have to let it go.
There's just no way on earth Jasper would enter into a devil's contract. It's just impossible. Just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Especially something so obviously pointlessly with the only intent is to get him into a devil contract. He came here with the knowledge that we are going to do a thing and trying to achieve that. So his only purpose is to get us into a contract.
So I don't want to agree with you. And the rest of you are in the garden at this point.
Yeah, Jasper's gonna spend some time in the Greenways.
That'd be a funny contract. It's just like, by signing this, I agree to sign this paper. Like that's the whole contract. Yeah. Self-fulfilling.
Well, Argus is just.
Well, that was a waste of time, and I go back inside and start reading my book.
Okay, so with that, that is the most effect you could get out of this garden at the moment, as most of it is withered at this point. We would have to tend to this garden again to have a chance of it doing it again.
Argus, I can't help but wonder if the gods that aren't in the Pantheon are just straight up devils, because the one time you call to them, that's who shows up. Maybe you should call to the normal gods.
We're missing some things. There's lore of the god of bards, not somebody that pays lip service to it off to the side with their other shallow things they do.
Argus is the kind of guy that just keeps dialing numbers
and
then
then
asks the person on the other line, "Are you a god?"
He's got to be here somewhere. Statistically, I'll find one.
At first, I really thought he was probably. He reminded me of the god of thieves from certain lore.
Okay.
But
I don't think this garden is summoning gods, Argus. You might want to, I don't know, change your
on the flip side,
statues?
It didn't prevent anything from happening either. He wasn't
trying
able
to
to leave the
summon
little
anybody.
summoning circle. So,
as you remember, Argus has said all along, bards have a duty to all the gods, and not one particular god.
That was not a god, though. That's what I'm concerned about.
No.
It was the opposite
not
of
a god.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe flip all these statues the other way or something, because something's not working with your god's garden.
No, you got somebody's secretary, and the secretary's just out there, like, trying to make his own deal.
Did you just take time off? No, I got summoned.
You can make deals on your own time.
Okay,
sorry, Dark Lord, I'm sorry, Dark Lord.
If nothing else from anybody's going to try, Jasper, you're in the Greenways. What do you do while you're there after this experience? Are you going to commune? Are you just hanging out in the Greenways? Going to camp out for a little bit?
No, he's got time. He's got some stuff to do in there. So he's gonna do some commune. He's gonna do.
Okay, so you ritually cast commune?
Yeah. Or just cast it. I guess
it's a ritual, but
yeah, I can't.
It It is a ritual spell, but I don't know if.
But apparently, sorcerers can't do rituals, so I guess I got to just.
I think you have to take a feat to do that.
Yeah, as a sorcerer. Yeah. I can only
explode magic. Divine beings, not necessarily sentient. You may receive unclear as an answer to the questions pertained. Information lies beyond the deity's knowledge. In the case of where one word answer could be misleading to the contrary, the deity's interests, the GM might offer a short phrase to an answer instead. Okay, so are you casting Commune then?
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to go through it or just send you a list of questions?
Well, remember, there's a chance of it failing if you cast it more than once.
Sure. So...
And they're more or less yes/no questions. So do you? And you
is Rhogar resistant?
3 questions.
Yeah. Is Rhogar resistant to radiant?
Your deity, the Tree Father, is not familiar with Rhogar's abilities.
All right, never mind. I just spent some more time in the Greenways, just chilling then. When we fought him last time, I mean, you saw what he did last time, and you got a better memory than I do. So.
Sure, he could recall what happened previously, but he isn't familiar with what Rhogar's capabilities are.
Yeah. So the first one comes back, I don't know. The second one was Rhogar resistant to radiant, because I used it in that fight for sure.
He didn't seem to be resistant to it, but he wasn't vulnerable to it either.
Right. Was he resistant to cold?
Not that you can recall of.
I guess that's 3. I get 3 questions, right?
Yeah, and if you cast again...
Fire?
I'll do it again. Yeah.
Okay, let's see if you fail...
I'm in the Greenways too, so there should be a boost.
I got a 28, so it's success.
Okay.
Did not fail.
Okay. Let's think. What would be the other? Yeah. How about fire? I assume he's resistant to fire. But yeah, fire.
It doesn't recall if he was. Fire effects didn't really happen before.
In that last fight, we didn't use fire at all?
He used fire on us.
On Galad, probably not.
He used it on you guys.
Well, there was the fort fight and Lisan Galad, so between the 2 battles...
The fort? Oh, you mean the war camp?
The war camp, yeah.
When did you guys ever use fire on?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have the entire combat. I don't have the whole fight in front. Jasper was...
Did that torch seem to flicker on him?
Did not seem to be resistant or vulnerable to it. It's unclear. Doesn't recall that having happened.
And then necrotic.
I assume you ask about necrotic and acid at some point.
Acid, I don't... Yeah, I mean, he is acid, so I'm going to assume I know that one.
Yeah.
But necrotic next, yeah.
Necrotic seemed to have no effect on him.
Yeah. All right. And then I guess thunder would be the last one. We probably dropped a shatter on him at some point.
He did seem to be resistant to it.
Resistant to shatter. Oh.
He didn't seem to be resistant to it.
Did.
Oh, he did? Oh, I missed that.
Back then.
I mean, this was how many years ago for these fights? So
over 10.
True Father's like going through his files. He pulls out Rhogar. Pulls out like a couple documents. It's like it says he's
did you want to cast Commune again?
I don't know what else I would ask at this point. Acid, I just feel is so obvious. I don't need to go over.
He's vulnerable to acid.
Oh, lightning!
I'm just
vulnerable. I'll do it one more and
lightning,
just check on lightning. And yeah, I'll check on lightning, psychic, and poison next. Yeah, so one more, and we'll see if we can get lightning, psychic, and poison.
Poison didn't happen during the fight, so
yeah, maybe not used. Yeah.
Lightning, he seemed to be resistant to.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I used my lightning lance on him during that fight. Yep. Lightning resist, and what was the last one?
Knowing of Rhogar's heritage, he believes poison might not be effective.
Yeah. Poison seems probably immune to poison.
Though at the time, Rhogar didn't seem to have the attributes of either fully, so maybe he's more so than before. Is there any other questions that you ask Treefather about?
1, 2, 3. No, I think Jasper feels the tenuous grasp even here in the greenways of things, of the thing. So he's gonna just spend the day praying and hanging out.
All right, I apologize.
No, that's okay. Let's see. That was
used to it, right?
That was all of my level 5s, so there you go. Used all my level 5 communing.
I would love to do like a month-long commune with a god, just trying to figure out like a 4-digit password. It's like, is the first one 9? No. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Oh dear, that would be funny. That would be a funny way to.
There's probably a programming code that you could write to make that as efficient as possible. You know.
Does 1111 have less than, I don't know, you're basically playing mastermind at that point.
A yes/no 4-digit code to get it in the fastest possible way. I'm sure it's out there.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Just be a bit wise.
Yeah,
I bet you there's a mapped out way.
I'm sure there's an optimized.
The numbers you want the fastest.
There's a lot of different ways that you can do that algorithm.
Yeah.
It's a question of what type you're doing. So, anyways, it's the same concepts of forcing.
Boolean. I do it a Boolean way. Haha. The best way.
I don't want to say anything on the channel right now, but most people can look this up. Go to OWASP and look up the different security measures of cracking a 4-digit code. Moving on.
That's fun.
They got a little box that does that now.
I can do it. I can do it with some combo locks. When I was a kid, I used to be able to spin them, and you can feel it tick inside if you're being very still and very quiet. You can, tick, then you go the other direction.
Safe cracking.
Yeah, I could do it with those old bike locks when I was a kid. I haven't done it in 30 years, but
yeah, those chain locks were.
Quantum computers do 256 encryptions within like a couple seconds. So
yeah. Okay, that gets us somewhere what we need.
Efficiency or speed? I mean, it's a question of which one. Anyways, so you commune with that. Anybody else want to ask or figure anything else out? Any lore that you want to look up? Any things that you want to do? Other preparations? Or are you just waiting an extra day?
I'm going to finish my book.
Because you're going to greenways back and then rest again?
So yeah, plane
I've spent
shift.
so much time at the library, I ought to have some sort of advantage if there's any references to hell or mapping hell or,
You'd like to roll a history.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Now that you know a name of the location.
Oh yeah, that's a great incentive there. All right.
Cast legend lore on that. That sounds great.
Oh yeah, don't you have legend lore, Hargus?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, cast it on that name. Let's find out what the origin of that place is.
Common Father.
14 questions. That's the optimal number of yes or no questions.
I love that game.
That you could determine.
That's impressive.
25.
Does it start with above 5 or lower than 5 or something like that?
I'm going to ask what the questions are. It's something about a bit.
And that's just
for a moment. You are asking are you casting legend lore or just your history? So history, you got a 25.
I'll cast legend lore. History, I got a 25.
If you cast legend lore, you're going to have to burn 250 gold pieces.
I update my components every time, except for ruby
so just
and diamond
subtract
dust.
Gold
Apparently,
and everything that way.
Yeah. When I mark the spell off, I've already calculated how much it cost me to.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
And remember, one of the benefits of legend lore is if your history is already high, if you already know a lot of details about what you're trying to investigate, which you just rolled your history, legend lore gives you more of a benefit. So right now, let's just look at your history. You rolled a 25, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
That's with my history modifier.
Argus, being as ancient as he is, and having read several different books all over the place, especially when he was trying to court a succubus.
Good to take notes.
Domner Faller, Judgment's Fall. He does know about it. He knows it resides in Hell. He knows it was an ancient hall meant to protect the that's been used to protect the owner, and it's coveted by many different entities. He knows that it served a purpose regarding punishing or redeeming the fallen. It was later claimed by some ancient dragon, supposedly, and it's been long forgotten, but its strength is from protecting from outsiders. That's as much as you recall from the different lore bits and what you've read about. It's a pretty good fortress. And you kind of know those things about it. You know that there's probably a lot more there. It's pretty old. It's old enough that people know kind of what it used to be used for. And you know who kind of acquired it and how long it's been there and it's been coveted. But Hargus, being who he is, knows that there is more to it than that. Like, how to get there in the first place. Why it's probably not being used for its original intention or original purpose. So, but that's what you find out from your 25 history check.
I'm gonna go and spread some money around at the library and see if I can find anybody that knows any better.
I would say outside of casting legend lore itself, or something else that way, that's probably about as good as you're going to get, because you've already exhausted a lot of
I thought
history.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you did cast legend lore.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No. He said he rolled a history of 25, so I gave him that first, and he hasn't.
That's just what you know in your brain.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to write it all down, and then just to help me, I have in the middle of my open room above my sleeping chambers.
So now
I have a circle, and I'm going to cast legend lore.
Okay, casting legend lore, knowing what you know now, and all that information, I will bump you up to the next level of the lore. Once a hall to test and redeem fallen people, it was created as a trial ground meant to correct the ways of immortals. After the Sundering, it was cast away, considered fairly dangerous, and there was splitting between decisions on whether or not they should be able to redeem fallen. Supposedly still retains a good portion of its power and is now a stronghold that is effective for protecting against intruders for the Master of the Hall. The Master of the Hall is the one that owns the place, and the halls, both function and protections, are warped to the Master's wills. The Hall challenges are supposedly affected by the owner's will as well. There are several different challenges one can go through, but having accomplished them are able to pass through the hall and originally be redeemed, but in this case would just allow them to pass through it all. It was found and claimed by a dragon in the Hells a very long time ago.
We didn't want any red dragons.
One.
Just the one.
Which one is that?
Jai Wen, I think is her name.
Jai Wen.
Something like that. The one who gave us our that one quest in Argonath.
I wonder if we can do some wooing and get her to tell us anything.
Was there any need for clarification, or did that lore make sense to you guys? Any
that makes sense.
What I said.
And the insight Hargis gets immediately is, wow, this is opposing Benkotha, it sounds like. I don't like
There was a sundering, and it was cast away because there was a disagreement among deities of whether or not this hall was useful or not.
Well,
so it didn't originate in hell?
It did not. It was a path. It was... it did not originate in hell, from what you understood from that.
So they, like, put it there when it was defunct or whatever.
But it's still a powerful relic, and it still has some of its power. It just doesn't apparently have its original purpose, is what it's...
Okay.
Demons are like, I found this great fixer-upper bound on one of the upper planes. They just got rid of it. Oh, they're just so dumb. They don't see the value of these things. You really, I mean, they don't make them like this anymore. I'm just going to bring it down here and put it... I think I can fix it up nice. I'm going to redo these floors. I'm going to take out that wall.
Sounds like you're going to sell Dairy Queen sundaes out of it, Vern.
This week on Hell's Renovations.
No, Hargis is probably going to throw another commune, but his insight is what god of light would most have the influence over this, or be interested in it and be able to provide information. Because Hargis believes everything happens for a reason, and we wouldn't be going here if there wasn't ultimately some bigger plans from the gods, even if it's rolling dice to see if we die or not.
Is this just a game to you? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, shucks.
Gods take their game seriously. But every once in a while you can influence their rolls.
Just like, hey, this is our favorite game.
The pieces are talking to us.
It's not just a game. It is our favorite game. Okay, we take it very seriously.
Okay.
Have you ever read Small
You
Gods
could spend
by,
time on that, Hargis. I need you to roll a D10 for me.
D10. Do tell. Let me find a good D10. Oh, I'm going to use those metal ones. They were good a minute ago.
I threw them in real nice. Not nice.
It will take you 8 weeks to investigate more.
Did you tell him to roll a D100 and it was 8?
No, a D10.
Oh, okay, I was like, oh gosh.
However,
that's pretty good.
This is the thing. I guarantee you will find out more.
I get wrong.
I will.
It will take you 8 weeks, but I guarantee you will find out more information.
Just real quick.
I get wrong.
What gods do we have here in town that I can access?
I'm saying you've already exhausted your resources that way. If you want to take the extra 8 weeks, you will find out more about this place. Otherwise, that's your only option.
I don't think we're willing to.
In other words,
clan, but I don't think they'll be willing to.
In other words, you realize, oh man, I'm going to have to go all the way over to this part of Amara, and then connect these two, and then return. Yeah, and you're like, it'll take about 8 weeks.
Require some of that rhubarb that's not in season, so I have to travel all the way to Copenhagen to get it from
so
I can burn the correct incense.
Sucky library that I visited for the last 20 levels. I'll have to revisit. Go through that again.
Hey, you already found out a crap ton.
And my library card's expired, so I have to go get that renewed, and that takes at least a week.
I've got this letter of rank.
You found out a lot already. I don't know why you're complaining.
Just because of the joy of complaining. That's
okay.
I love to complain.
Grumpy old.
Yep. Don't take about my rates to the complain. That's only the dark gods that would do such a thing.
You are beyond evil. You won't even let me complain.
I have God-given rights to complain. Not by this god, but most gods. Agree.
8 out of 10 gods of Amara agree. The right to complain is yours.
That's right.
It's sacrosanct.
Oh.
They may have an elephant stomping
like
the guts of the fellow who gave us the right, but goddamn God was right.
Unless you guys are leaving without Jasper, you guys will only have...
Not sure how they would do that.
At least a day.
I am going to finish my book and gain +2 to my wisdom score. And then I'm going to get Roxana, fly to my mom's house the next day, introduce her formally, even though they've already met, and I'm going to spend a few days. I know Jasper wanted to leave immediately, but I'm going to spend a few days at home, and then I'm going to spend a few more days sailing.
Wait, what do you mean? So you're going to extend this by a week?
Yeah, I know Jasper wanted to leave immediately, but I've got more stuff to do.
So you guys have already spent a week, and Dacron is saying he's spending an extra 4 days. So basically another week.
Yeah, another week.
Yeah,
like 3 days. 3 days in Swanbow, 4 days sailing.
We talked about doing a month total. So
if we're going to take more time,
a full month. That means, Hargis, if they're going to spend at least a month from the time that you found that out, it would only be 3 more weeks after that. 4 more weeks?
Yeah, well, it'd be an extra
or it'd be
month.
3 weeks. It would be 3 weeks off, so it'd be 5.
You get halfway
It'll be
there.
5 weeks left for that investigation on that.
If I hire assistants, can I shorten that time? The Dragonborn are excellent researchers, and they owe me a favor.
The Silent Watch. They are good researchers.
Sure, I'll say you'll be able to knock off another 2 weeks, but that means you still have, let's see, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 5 weeks. So you would have 3 weeks left that you would have to spend to reach that goal.
What if I hire all
at
of
the
them
end of
that are on
So if
ship?
everybody's okay with it, you could wait another 3 weeks. But then what is Shaz doing for a month and a half, basically?
Lifting.
He's on his honeymoon. I know what he's doing.
Also, am I? Is there any chance I could find?
I know
Well,
what
I'm going to
Elvis
look
is
for
doing.
it. While I'm doing this, I'm going to send out a search thing to see if anybody has a spell guard shield for sale. Worth a shot.
And by the way, Hargis is going to change the spells that he has on his ring of storing.
Yeah.
He's going to change that to the what is the?
You can store up to 5 charges,
Sanctuary or
so
whatever.
5th level or lower.
I'm going to do 2 hideous laughters, and then I'm going to. Oh no, what is it called? Can't think what it's called. The tiny hut is 3rd level, and that'll give me 1 more spell.
Are you sure? That's like a ritual, I think, right? Can you cast that
can
without
do
a
it
slot?
as a ritual. You can do it as a ritual, but if things get really dire, and I need to use my gift from my sister,
He needs time.
I will need a moment.
Tiny hut. I see.
Oh,
So I'll do that in mirror image.
Mirror image and tiny hut.
Still take a minute to cast, but could work.
Well,
but
a minute
it'd be
versus
easier to
10
do that.
minutes, it would be
True,
more doable.
true. It is. Yeah, it is better than. But it's still just a little spell. So it's fine. It's your.
No,
it's your
wait.
ring. Could save you.
Hargis, you've used contingency before, haven't you?
Contingency? I don't think so.
No, I don't think any of us
I
use
haven't.
that.
Oh, it's only a wizard spell. No,
Only
Hargis, the DM, used it. I just realized you could do a contingency on a Liam tiny hut. I know, that's why it made me think of it.
Could you?
Yeah, because the spell takes effect immediately.
Oh.
Yeah, you still have to take the time to cast it when you first do.
Okay. So the time is spent ahead of time.
Yeah.
I cast
Which does make things like planar binding available for instant use.
Really?
What?
What?
I have never
I've
mentioned
never
this
thought
because
of
I didn't
that,
want
yeah.
any of you to ever bring it up.
Well, if I ever get 21st level, maybe I'll get another spell from another spell book, and I can get it.
It would need a wizard.
I mean, it would be expensive.
You're a wizard. You're a
It
wizard.
still might not work.
Exceptionally expensive.
I can take spells from other spell books.
You know how many
levels.
cool
That's how I've got some of the spells
contingency
I've gotten.
combinations there are with long cast time spells?
It's funny you should mention, because Jasper's spending some time in the Greenways doing some stuff.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's a wizard spell, so the only wizard in our group was me.
Unfortunately, Jasper knows the wish spell.
Can I change my spell?
I think with continue,
I never used
5 or lower that you.
I was really
cast.
wanting Fireball, and it's been a total.
Oh, it's a level 5 or lower?
That you can cast, yes.
Oh, that's lame. I can cast it if I use wish.
What spell would you use as the contingency?
No, never mind. I'm not gonna say
Just
no.
curious.
It's Jasper's still spending the time, just not as much time now. It's slightly different now, but it's still he's spending the time in the Greenways. He had to do it anyway, and this seemed like a good time to do it.
Yeah.
Since he's already here, so he's gonna spend probably 4 days praying heavily in the Greenway. Really reflecting on all these things.
Chaz, was there any other magical items that you wanted to look for a month and a half?
Wow, all this time available. I wonder if the deadlines are.
I want my sword off the damn tree.
Starting to wonder what you guys are doing by spending all this extra time.
That's alright.
I mean, we're not in a rush. It's not like he's planning an invasion of Amara, right? Gotta make sure we're good and prepared.
I don't suppose I could train for feats in this time, could I?
What feat?
I was hoping I could get that fighting style for blind sight. That'd be cool. Just have a bunch of people punch me while if I'm wearing a blindfold.
Let's do a
I'll be glad to
skill
punch
challenge
you,
on
man.
this, and we'll see if you're successful, okay? Does it sound
What
fair,
challenge?
everybody?
You could
We'll do a
probably
skill
change
challenge.
one of your existing fighting styles, or do you want to keep all of them?
Not really a new one.
No. So he's wondering if he can get the feat for the blind sight. Sure.
Can you change
Let's say that
spells?
he can get it if he spends the month and a half training while you guys are all doing this other stuff. Right?
Or you stuck with what
Bumbling
you got.
around with a blindfold on the entire time, just toning his
Yeah.
senses.
But it's a
Day
skill
after day.
challenge because it is quite a permanent effect. So
Marizar
Hey.
blindfolds him, and then he tries and
Finish
trains
what I was
fighting
saying.
with her the whole time. Sorry, go ahead.
And beats
Uh,
the tar out of him for a month, and then the last few weeks he's
Finish
starting to
what I
finally
was
get
saying.
it.
Let the DM speak.
It will be a skill challenge. I'm not saying that it will be forever lost if you fail the skill challenge. You just won't have it from this time frame.
Okay.
Right. So if you failed the skill challenge, unfortunately, no, you didn't get it, but you have made progress towards it. So,
Sweet.
and it'll be a skill challenge of 3. So 3 skill challenges, and you have to have passed all 3 of them. Okay. And they're going to be different parts. So the first thing is, with disadvantage, roll an athletics check.
Okay.
I
22.
can change spells. I just gained a level. I can change spells. I could take that.
With disadvantage, roll an acrobatics check.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna do
12?
Okay.
What was the name of that spell, Jasper?
With disadvantage, roll a strength check.
No perception?
11.
Okay. Noted. So, Shaz starts going through this training regiment that he comes up with to try and improve his senses of being able to see and feel around things. And he blindfolds himself with Mirazar's help. And has
She's
people
laughing.
start, Mirazar included, from people at different arenas, and they start holding sticks out and other things trying to impede his progress as he's trying to walk down the hall. And at first, he just has the blindfold on and he sees if he can walk down a log or just walk down these paths that are somewhat difficult. He does pretty well. The second time, they start throwing things at him, so he has to like dodge, duck, and weave, and he gets pummeled quite a bit. And then the third time, they start testing out how well he can hit other stuff, like be able to fight or be able to make use of his abilities to fight. And as he is fighting everybody, he springs an ankle. Unfortunately, you did not quite succeed, but you were close.
That's alright. That's a shame. Something to do, though.
Oh, wee, wee, wee.
Don't stop beating me until I dramatically throw you off.
It's alright, we have magic. I get it fixed in a day.
Jasper, what was the name of that spell again?
However, I will say
Which
you
one?
made progress
The
towards it.
holdout spell
Should
or whatever
something
it was?
happen where you guys take more time,
To
you
escape?
will be able to finish it with one skill check.
Cool.
We were just talking about it, and now I can't think of the name of
But
it.
it will take a
Sorry.
month.
Do you
The
mean
one the
contingency?
wizards were using
Contingency?
to escape. Contingency spell.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
He's
yeah,
writing it down for future because now he wants to be a wizard and do silly things with
No,
contingency.
You're a
at
wizard, Hargus.
3 or 4
know,
times in my
Simple is
Oh,
awesome.
that's right.
I
You
can
could take
gain a
it.
spell, and
That's
I can
right.
change those. I just changed levels, so I
Yeah.
can change those spells.
Your
Yeah.
magical secrets.
His
You
magical
absolutely could
secrets,
have
he
contingency.
He could take it.
And planar binding, which he already has.
Anyway, DM, anything about that Spellguard shield? I don't think Dakron would necessarily know that a Spellguard shield existed, but he would probably just send out like an investigative letter to a couple of his contacts to say if there's just a really good shield, magical shield for sale in Hardale and the Ivory Isles. And he'll just see if anything shows up in the next couple weeks, or month, I guess.
You do find a sentinel shield.
That's what I already have.
Oh, sorry. What's the shield that...
Spellguard shield? It's very rare, so the chances are pretty low. But...
Not that shield. I'm talking about the one where you attune to it and it floats around you.
Oh, an animated shield, something like that.
Yeah, you
Not
find one of those,
interested.
but not the Spellguard shield.
Okay, it's worth a try. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with all this 40,000 gold pieces that I found.
Well,
Maybe I'll donate some
I've got to
of it.
spend
tons of
gold.
things in hell you could possibly make barters with.
I've got to go spend gold on components now.
Let's hire a legion of demons to kill a Hydra dog guarding the gates.
We are.
You're fighting that
We
yourself,
are having
mister.
the shopping
You
episode
cost
that
us.
is killing our warrior Shaz at the moment.
No way.
So let's.
I got 40,000 gold. I'll spend on that. Sure. No one else wants it.
I'm really
Jasper's been trying to give this gold away. No one in the party wants
Horn
it.
of Summoning.
So a month has passed, and then 2 more weeks. You guys start going through and start living your lives
Yes,
and
we
doing
are.
things. However, at the start of the second week, Dakarin, your mother has gone missing.
Okay,
I
we're
knew it.
putting everything on hold because my mother's
Marissa
gone.
has gone missing.
Oh, cool.
Shaz, your parents have gone missing.
Jazz, you've gone missing.
Hargus, the prince has gone missing.
I scry on my mom.
Oh,
Does not work.
I
Very good.
try
You can tell
again and
because it's
again.
not on the same plane of existence.
Ah, they're kidnapping
That's
our
it.
peeps.
they're corralling us into taking action.
All right, well, Jasper, I think you know what we need to do now.
Yeah.
A horn of Valhalla.
As you guys
I don't know why Rhogar chose now to do all this, but here we go. So
he heard that Hargis was 1 week from figuring out more about the fort, and decided to.
That's it. It's
flew
Hargis'
too close to the
fault.
sun, Hargis.
He did it. He did it. That's what happened.
All right. Come on, Chip. Let's get moving here. And we will
Just what dice rolls happen.
tow up. All right. Now, in this previous month, we were talking about trying to get other people to come for the first wave. Like, so what was the decision with Blue Cloaks and stuff, and bringing others to help with the? Is that what did we decide on all that? We basically went through the first 2 weeks. But
apparently, they just sent us admiration letters, and that's all that they were willing to give us.
Is there any magic arrows laying around?
Probably not laying around, but you could probably buy some. You've got
By that I do mean buying them.
I've got 40,000 gold if you want to go get some from the Blue Cloaks.
I would like to buy some. If you'll just make me a list, I'll
The
buy
Blue
whatever
Cloaks
I have.
are just dimensional scientists. They don't make magic items. They just study the different planes. But there are magic salesmen
Yeah,
I
okay.
tell you
from
what,
Copenhagen and
Sure.
Little
If we're going-
Copenhagen in Hardale.
if we're going around the table, I'll not interrupt and I'll wait till my turn.
I mean, I'd say go now because you're the one trying to do something.
Well, yeah, before I go, I gotta buy some magical components anyway. As long as I'm buying, I am going to send my apprentices out to find magical arrows for me and see what I can buy.
Okay.
And to save time, I'm going to have them go and negotiate because they are training. And they could use the real-time experience.
When you
All
say
of them
magical
accompanied by an
ammo
older
or
child.
arrows, what magical arrows and ammo are you looking for?
Oh, I have a great bow. And I've
Yes.
been plunking around, but I'm looking for pretty much anything.
Uncommon and lower, you could possibly
Dispel.
find.
I'll do that.
+1 arrows.
Plus
So
one,
just
dispel
plus one arrow?
magic, you name it.
We will table that part for a moment because I'm not familiar with what
That's
magical
fine.
arrows are uncommon and lower.
I think it's just +1 that are uncommon. I don't think
You
there
could
are
just
any
make
other
me
ones.
a list
The
or
other ones are
anything.
probably more rare.
Yeah.
So when we meet back up at the keep and we're powwowing, Jasper's like, "Okay, everyone
Remember,
get out
this is
out
5
your
weeks
cheat
since you guys. It's actually 6 weeks, right? Starting in week 6.
Something like that.
Yeah, because
mean,
they went
4
missing
weeks.
over the course of that last week, and it was like kind of nonchalant. They're like, "Oh, I'm off to do this one thing," and then you went about your stuff, and then later somebody was like, "They've been gone for a bit," and you get contacted, and people start letting you know.
Jasper,
Since you
can
hang
you
around.
cast sending and see if they're okay?
I mean, I assume that's how Jasper found out Brissa was gone because he kept sending night after night and she's not responding.
Why?
You know,
well, does that mean
when you
she's
go
dead then?
to the
Because they can go
effort
to other
be
planes.
Dead,
I mean,
can't
Jasper.
you want your
scribe
family left
planes,
alone.
Yeah, Jasper and Brissa do a few sendings like every night before bed. It's what he uses most.
So
of
did
the-
they not go through, Dustin? Or
assumed
Let's look at the
as much.
sending spell.
it has a 5% chance of not making it if you send it to another plane of existence, but it still goes through. So I would imagine one of them would, depending on with how
I mean,
often you.
If Rhogar's
Sending.
kidnapping people, he's
Your
just
message
slipping the
did-
non-communication necklaces around.
Your message does go through. She just doesn't respond, and you recognize this as being somebody being unconscious.
So, and they all check on everyone's family. Then, in that case, everyone's missing.
Same thing
person.
for
Yeah.
each of them. I guess we'll just assume that you've met each of them, except you've never met Hargis's prince. So,
Except- Actually, I think I did.
He has. Yeah,
he was hanging out. He was hanging out at Lasangalad for quite a while.
Yeah, he was training to be the dragon warrior for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes,
Yeah.
they are all
had
unconscious.
interactions from time to time.
They are not
especially
responding.
Chaz.
Yeah.
They, at least from what you can tell from the sending spell, they are not able to communicate back. You know the spell's going through, but...
Wow, Rhogar really must want to die. I guess we'll go, if he wants us to hurry about it.
Yeah.
It's nice of him to keep them alive instead of just slaughter them like he does in most people.
I'm really tempted to summon Binko.
Unless it's that weird guy of yours.
At the moment.
No, I'm directly mocking Rhogar, not you.
No, I'm sure he's going to, kill them.
Hargus, it was probably that demon that you summoned. He probably did it out of spite because he wanted to make a deal.
Oh, maybe he knows me. Maybe he doesn't. Either way, it's not going to benefit him in any positive way.
Well, the past few weeks I've checked every item off my bucket list. I've told Roxana everything I've ever wanted to tell her. My treasure and...
one check mark that hasn't been checked that's just like hidden under all the others, and it says, have a kid.
Everything that I can possibly do, I'm done.
Nothing left.
I've told Roxana everything. I've written my last will and testament and left everything behind that is in that will. My bag is packed. I'm ready to go, Jasper.
Correction, Shaz. Just your mom is missing.
Oh, well, that's technically better.
Mathematically.
I've got one parent. But your father is just like, she went out for groceries and then she hasn't been back. Did she find someone else?
That's it. Yep.
I think someone else found her was the issue.
He didn't understand what you meant by that.
Shaz will reassure him he'll get her back. Don't worry.
This is all part of the adventurer's life, Dad. The villains take our loved one, we go rescue him.
He's adventurous?
Oh no.
You know what? Let's just leave it at that. Goodbye. I'm not going to say anything.
I get there.
She's tired of her. She thinks our life is boring. She wants to go on adventures.
I'm also going to send out for any...
That bard that came to town the other day, that elven one.
Hargus is also going to, as long as he's got his apprentices doing his bidding, he's looking for magical potions, including sending word to Norel and asking him what he's got on the menu, and then send me a bill.
Give me one of everything and just put it on my tab.
It has been, I will say, it's been 3 days since they've been missing.
Oh, it's been
3 days since you're missing me.
1 day since you sent me presents.
And
so this is week 6 out of the desired 8 to...
I'm doing this in a day.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. In the timeline,
he doesn't
we're
have
at
much
week 6
time
out of 8.
left on that. He would just need another week and a half. And then he could investigate more.
Week and a half. Well, bloody hell.
I send out a bunch of rats that speak in my voice, and they tell them what to do, and then they do it. And they bring them to me post-haste.
No, I was curious about the...
with the sending spell, you can
thing.
tell if they're alive or not, at least. Because if they're not alive, it will just fail. But, they're unconscious.
Wish I could cast Dream, because if she's asleep, that would work. But it doesn't work out through other planes, I don't think. Yeah, no.
You shouldn't cast sending to my sister.
I don't think she's missing.
To not let you
It's
go.
the prince. It's not your sister that's missing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
thank goodness.
Your wee ward.
He's the one that took him.
Never know what she needs for the pot.
I mean, I suppose it's up to... We reconvene at the keep, realizing people are missing. And I know you were wanting the extra time to research more on the hells, but I don't know what
the hell with that.
Yeah, probably not worth the time.
Well put, Hargus.
Obviously he's, doing this to bait us into running in more quickly as well.
Of course.
So I guess we're doing what he was hoping for.
I'm updating the Firebrands on everything I'm doing, so they know that I have urchins. Here, I'll just roll percent on.
That's great, Hargus. And when we come back, then you can resolve all that. But we gotta save our ladies.
No,
are
this
they all
is happening
female
today. They should be arriving.
They are all ladies.
Except for the prince. Okay, so it's not a.
Hargus not telling you about the prince.
It's not a.
I have 30 apprentices.
Not a gender
I have
thing.
30 apprentices going out. No, I don't say a word about it. I just tell them, "Let me gather some supplies, and I'll be ready to go."
Princess.
So I have 30 urchins running around the city, grabbing stuff for me and running back to the keep.
In a rash of recent crimes, a bunch of small children have been seen raiding shops all across Hardale. We haven't seen such numbers since the '04 break when
they
the
want to pass their
orphanage
test.
They're calling this the onset of the rats.
They want to pass their exam. They got to make it happen.
Bob, you were around for '04, weren't you? Thanks a lot, Sharon. No, I wasn't, but boy, can I tell you.
It was probably pretty bad. Back to you.
Rumor has it, no one had a good time.
Witnesses report that all the urchins seem to be going back to Hargus's beer garden.
So, it looks like another day has passed, then.
Just tell him what, if anything, his urchins bring back after that amount of time, because Decker's not going to wait any longer after one more day.
Just give me a list. I'm not even auditing it. I'm going to put it in my bag and examine it on the journey.
What are you? You're just having them run in basically raid shops to grab random items?
Well, I gave them a list of what I needed. The arrows and combat, action potions.
Sure.
And
let's
then we have a
really
budget.
What they could find from the shops from Hardale. Are you paying for this, or are they stealing?
I give them the option.
You give them the option.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
if they pay for it, they get the item guaranteed in Curry's favor. If they steal it, they get the item he needs.
Akron,
Curry's favor,
and
keep the gold.
Aaron,
So.
and Jasper, we're gonna have you guys play his little minions for the moment, and we're gonna have you dictate whether or not you steal or that you paid for the thing.
If anybody questions me, Hargus just say, I've done more for this town than they will ever pay me back for. They should be thankful for their lives.
Yeah, we're just gonna do this really quick.
I rolled for my kid's cockiness.
Just a voiced opinion.
I rolled for my kid's cockiness, and he is trying to steal it 100%.
Okay.
I paid for loyalty.
Okay. I want to ask you something. Potion or ammunition, Jasper?
We'll just do odds and evens, unless since it's non-specific. Odds, ammo.
Ammo. Trying to steal ammo.
Yeah, because you said potions or ammo.
Same thing. Roll to see if you steal or pay for it, and then
how do we determine cockiness?
That's up to you. I rolled the D20 and I got a nat 20. This is the cockiest little prick.
You rolled 3d6 and dropped the lowest, like you're rolling stats.
Yeah. Okay.
So whatever
roll
sparks joy.
a D8, and if I get any odd number or 2, he's cocky.
Oh, slightly more likely.
Okay. Interesting.
2, the cockiest even number. I think we can all agree.
2 is the cockiest number.
Even number.
I did get an odd number, so I'm stealing.
Nice.
So you're stealing. Okay. Potion or ammunition?
Potion. Well,
Okay. Dakrin, what did you get?
A 6 out of 20 after rolling 3d6 and dropping the lowest. So he's gonna pay. He's straight as a yeah.
Potion or ammunition?
Ammunition.
Ammunition. Okay. So, Hargis, mark off 200 gold of what got paid for.
I'm pretty sure all the urchins kept the gold that he gave them, right? So he loses it either whether they stole it or not.
I'll get
that's part of passing or failing.
Part of the business.
Mark off an additional 800 gold in fines.
I love it. To be paid later when you get caught.
And missing money. So fines and missing money is an additional 800 gold.
Fair enough.
You get... Wow. That's quite the roll. You get 2 greater healing potions and 1 supreme.
Ooh, damn. Total with it.
You get 1 arrow that is the effect of the fireball spell.
Ooh,
and then you
bomb
get
arrow.
A quiver, meaning 20 of +1 arrows.
Nice.
Which means that they'll have 1 more bonus to the damage and 1 more to the other.
20 of them, right?
Why are we...
Yeah.
Dackern, you went for ammo too, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you want to roll and see whether you got the fireball?
Steal it and then deal with the fines.
You want to see if you got the fireball or the +1 arrows?
Sure. What do I roll for that?
You bought yours, so I don't know if that factors into it. But I don't know. D20, odds is one, evens the other. Whatever you want. I don't care. Just funny to see which one we got. Mine's the cockiest little kid in the world. Did he go for a quiver of 20 or a fireball arrow? I don't know.
I'm gonna roll a D12
By the way,
with disadvantage and odd or even.
Yeah,
the sleight of hand.
Odd is fireball.
Odd is fireball. Okay.
They're both even, so yeah. It's just he's the straight as an arrow kid. Just bought a perfect little quiver of +1 arrows for the listed price. Okay. No haggling.
And my little psycho went on a full Mission Impossible raid to get a single fireball arrow.
That fits so much better.
There would have been more, but he used some in the escape.
it was a quiver of 3, and he fired 2 to escape.
One of them better a bit of cabbage cart.
We will run that one shot later.
We'll see what that kid's story was later.
Argus grabs one out, riding,
throws it backwards, doesn't even know what it does.
And as the urchins return, he hands out a piece of folded paper to each one of them, and his senior apprentice, he gives a master copy. Okay, here's your final exam, and there will be an extended course when you see me next. And he sends them on their way.
As my kid presents
to a chest.
As my kid presents his single magical arrow that he's got left, you see he's got no hair on the back of his head. And he's just generally a bit singed, but he's like, this one does fireballs.
Oh! And Hargus hunkers down and sits on his back of his heel. He says, "Well done!" as he touches the burnt part. He says, "Oh, sorry, lad." He pulls out this. He gives him the map, and he gives him this beat up tin. He said, "Here, put this on it. It's 32 points of healing salve."
He's got 5 points
when he was like at first or second level. There's 32 points left out of 100.
My kid will...
Thank you, Master Hargus.
My kid will hand you bottles of Pepto-Bismol.
Wipe your nose
and he'll tell you he's switched serums.
Do what?
Switched to pink healing serums, so now you have Pepto-Bismol, but really it's a healing potion. And now that man has Pepto-Bismol in a bottle.
Oh no. Some warrior guy who's got a bandolier of healing potions filled with Pepto.
Well done, lad. Oh, I'm giving you bonus points towards your graduation for that. Here's your map, and here's a gold piece.
Yay! I can feed my family.
Actually, they're all past that. Argus
Lobster prices are just
housing them and boarding them for quite a while now, and it's finally paid off.
All right, Hargus, your urchins came back. Can we go to hell now?
Right, and I had to take off another 1,000 gold for components also.
The following day, did you cast Sending?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's trying every night. So.
Okay.
Now,
just in case it's not going through.
What do you say each time is my curiosity.
Oh man, I'm gonna get a perv message from Rhogar. I don't say anything. I take it back. No, every time it's the same.
Are you saying it to each of them? So you're
each of them. Yeah, each of them. Yeah, same basic thing.
Times?
Yeah, same basic thing each time. Hey, just checking in. Let me know if you can respond.
You hear a week from Brissa.
Whoa,
Jasper, where am I? And that's all you hear from that sending. I don't know what order you sent them in. If that was the first one you sent it to, then you have your other spell slots.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a level 3 spell sending, right? I can send 3.
With Brissa, you can cast it at one level lower.
Oh, okay.
It was like a gift that she gave you, and it
I can send a lot of spells, so he'd try again with the follow up. I'm coming. Don't panic. Can you see anything about where you are? Do you know anything about where you are?
I feel very weak. And then she pauses for a moment. What's your name? I'm Brissa.
Oh crap.
Hold on, I'm talking to Jasper. That's the end of the sending with all the grunts and that back to you, so you cast again. I'm just gonna assume you're gonna keep going back and forth. You find out that Brissa is aware she can't really see anything at the moment. She feels very weak, and there seems to be 4 others with her. The 4 others that you're looking for. They all seem to be awake. They all seem to be similarly weak and cannot see their surroundings. They are in various forms of pain. They don't seem to know what else is going on, but they cannot move their bodies. They feel like they are bound.
Yep.
Well, they can move, like shimmy, but they feel like they're bound in place by something. They're being held, tied down, or otherwise.
While I'm waiting, I sent 2 messages. One to my governess, and
they don't hear anything else other than the crackling of flames, and they think that they're in a room of some kind.
Okay. All right.
They smell lots of irony. It kind of smells like there's blood in the room, but they seem okay. They're starving. They are super hungry because they have not ate.
Guys, my mom is not young. She's younger because of that potion of longevity I gave her, but we gotta go.
I saw that when I scoped out your house to burn it down.
What?
Yeah, let's not revive that.
We'll unpack that
memory.
later. We'll unpack that later.
We both said we were sorry. Forgive and forget, and all right. So here's the heart. Here's the tooth. Here's the whatever other body part of the mountain.
Left gonad. Okay.
Butt of the mountain. Oh wait, no, this is the heart. Never mind.
Supple
misread the shape. Are we doing this, you guys? Are we going? Is this our finest hour
of the mountain?
I'll find out about that. All right, everyone, gather around. Chip, no, just take people's hands. No one likes it when you do that with your chin, man. And he's just like got his chin on everyone's shoulder as they approach. Hands, buddy, hands. Come on. And we all join hands. And
before we go,
he has more hands than he should, though. That's the part.
Before we go, I say, Benkotha, I invoke our pact withdraw as many demons as you can as a distraction. It's time.
And I rub some oil on my armor, and then we go.
I eat of delicious fruit that was recently given to me.
my dragon charm flashes on my white blade. There's like a dragon like coiling around it and energy and stuff, and then it fades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also activate the heroism room. Wait, no, I don't. That's not long. Never mind. Continue.
I eat one cricket, and while I'm munching on the cricket, we go.
Well, that seems like a good
you oddly enough go to the garden to perform this ritual.
Yeah.
And as the energies envelop you guys, there's
looking around at the berries, waving,
and then there's a slow sensation. Everything gets dark, and then just gets to a dull reddish glow as your eyes adjust. Somewhat hot and humid in where you're at, and as you kind of blink your eyes for a moment and you look around, you are standing on kind of patchy red ground with like kind of somewhat desert plant life around you. You kind of look around and you realize you're in this cavernous like area, giant, massive cavern. You can't see the ceiling, but you see the walls kind of ascending for a little moment. Looking behind you, you kind of see that it slopes off and you're overlooking maybe a town or something else that way. There's like flickering lights kind of dotting it, kind of like if you're looking at a town at night. Off in the distance, and you all turn and you see what you assume is Dahmer Fallen, as it sits against a backdrop of this cave-like dwelling with the high ceilings, seeming somewhat out of place as it is, even in this state, riddled with cracks, damaged walls, some spires that seem to be broken. It still seems quite elegant, but the sourceless light in this area that bathes the castle in the realm in this mild red hue makes what was once white gold and maybe this embellishing of both polished white and gold and black and ivory is now just rust colored in kind of an ichorish blackish color instead. Behind the cliff that looking back the other way as your eyes have adjusted more, you see that there's a pathway that might lead down, but you seem to be sitting up above of what looks like it might be a city. And with that, we'll call it good there.
Let's give them hell, Firebrands.
But I will say this as well. There doesn't appear to be anything else here. You seem to have arrived almost like on the pathway leading to the castle or to this fort. But nothing else is around.
No swarms of demons coming after us, huh?
You said this is kind of like a desert cavern sort of combo. But is it?
Yeah, it's like
dark?
It's like you're in a cave, but you can't see the ceiling.
So it's black up there, like we're in a dark.
Yeah,
giant
basically
cavern?
you see walls ascend, and then it's just darkness above you.
Okay.
But from whatever sourceless light there's a red hue kind of coloration that's everywhere. So like you can see, it's not like bright light, dim light, but you can see like normal without like aid of magic. But everything has a weird red hue to it and glow. Looking down, it looks like it's at night because you can see kind of like buildings and that and fires. It seems like that, and maybe torches. Otherwise, you see lights. And it's kind of weird. It feels like it's at nighttime, but all of you are able to see just fine. So
I mean that's
convenient.
That's not any different from me. I don't know what you guys are.
At least they're good hosts.
Yeah,
classic hellscape.
Looking up, it just seems like it
hellscape.
ascends more than what you would expect. You get a really weird, disorienting sense of what your surroundings are that way. But
no stars in hell. I should have expected. Gross.
Hargus smells his piss just to make
and
sure
you're
it's not
maybe,
him.
say, 100, 200 feet away from what appears to be the gates to the Fort of Dahmer, but you're on the pathway towards it. And you're looking down the ground, and it seems that this would have been a courtyard at some point. Or like some outlying path to it.
Alright.
Sorry about the chopping air episode, Chaz. But yeah, that happened.
We did some research too.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we found out some of the hopefully resistance.
Hargus got to flex a little. I'm happy.
And we will pick up next time with what you guys do in this plane.
Final arc.
The final arc down.